So really the steps in a word, in an equation is get the thing with your variable in it by itself first. Then you almost always divide last, right? So what am I going to do first? Yeah, here's where my L is. That's the letter I'm trying to solve for. That's the shit that I don't want with it, right? I will get the thing that has the variable in it by itself, so I'll subtract 2w. Now, I always have somebody that writes this like, negative 2wp. I'm like, wait, what? You're not multiplying. Read it off to yourself. What is this? This is exactly how you write it. You can't suddenly change the operations just because you want to slam all of it together. P minus 2w is P minus 2w. There you go. And of course, the last step to get L by itself. Divide by 2. Pop.
L equals P.
Yep, so L equals P minus 2w over 2. Now, if anybody has a question, there is a slightly different way you could write that, but...
L equals P minus W.
So you could write this. Help me out. In this expression, what's being divided by 2?
2.
P and negative 2w. So you don't have to do this, right? But you could write this as P divided by 2. And what's 2w divided by 2? W. These are the same. These two things are the same. So what happens is, and there's nothing wrong with what I'm about to say, if you check your work, if you're doing a problem and the answer's in the back of the book, you want to check it. Sometimes the back of the book did it a different way than you did, and you're like, you think you got it wrong, because you did the first one, and they got the second one. You're like, what the shit did they do? They're the same. They're equivalent. So it depends on the way you chose to solve it. All right, so try this one. What's this the formula for?
Area.
Half. Base times height. Base times height. Yes, area. Huh?
Right?
Nope. Of a triangle. The height has got to be perpendicular to the base. That's the definition of height. It's got to be perpendicular to the base. So a right triangle just makes it easy because it's the one with the legs. Yeah. So real quick, I don't know if you guys remember, is there a fraction in that equation? Is there a fraction in that equation?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we like fractions normally? No, they didn't really do anything to us, but we just hate them. How do we kill it? Multiply by 2. All right. That's the first thing I would do if I was you, is just kill any fractions in the problem. Right? Just kill the fraction. It makes it look a lot better. You're not really killing it. You're just kind of redistributing it. So I would do this first. Half height times base, half height base. That's what I was trying to do. And then what's the last step to get B by itself? Yes, divide by the thing you don't want. I don't want H. Let me divide by H. Because it's being multiplied right now. That's what tells me what to do. Do the opposite operation.
We don't multiply the 2 with the BH. No.
2 by the what?
Multiply it with the BH.
What happened to that 2 right away? Canceled. There's only 1 2. That 1 2 died immediately. There's no other 2 to get to the BH gets. Does that make sense? There's no foiling or anything because there's no plus or minus there. That 1 2 I put there died. I lock it.
Like I had a habit of thinking more than B. Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, you know, it's unnecessary, but it doesn't change it. So if you like say 1b equals 2a over h, I'm not going to take points off. I might say something like, we don't need this, but it doesn't change it, right? A 1b, yes?
So 2a over h equals b is the same as a minus 1/2 bh.
No.
Well, you just
All right.
reduced it till you got right.
No. So if you have this, if I subtract 1/2 bh from both sides, I don't have a statement that tells me what B is. So if I just subtract 1/2 BH from both sides, is that what you did?
No, I'm saying that as we reduced it to 2A over H equals B,
Yes.
that's the same as A minus 1/2 BH.
No. Okay.
We just manipulated the numbers to
No,
say something.
I'm not really sure. A minus 1/2 BH
Yeah.
is 0.
Well, then 2AH equals B. Okay, I don't know. You came up with the formula
Yeah,
by manipulating everything.
that's right.
So you didn't change anything.
No.
You just manipulated. So it
Exactly.
should be the same. Should be equal, right?
So B equals 2A over H is equivalent to the equation A equals 1/2 BH.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I said.
No, it's not equal to A minus 1/2 BH. That's not the equation. The equation is A equals 1/2 BH. And I know that sounds like semantics maybe, but A minus 1/2 BH is 0. It's equivalent to 0. This equation, B equals 2A over H, is equivalent to the equation A equals 1/2 BH. Those are the same.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So that's what you meant.
That's what I
beautiful.
meant.
That's beautiful. Let me see, do they give me one? No, I'm going to give you an extra one here. Well, let's do number 4, because that's going to become very important later in this class. That kind of thing, does anybody know why you would solve for y in this kind of thing? Does that sound familiar? Mx plus b, right? So we'll talk about graphing later, but that's, if I get y by itself, I can see the slope, I can see the y-intercept. If you don't remember that, it's okay, we're going to do it. Yeah.
Will we have time on Monday to go over homework questions before the quiz?
Yeah, of course. That'd be so evil. Here's the weekend to forget everything, and then here's a quiz right away. So the first 10 or whatever minutes will be questions, then quiz, and then lecture. Yeah. Quizzes, I don't make them last too long.
And we
Give you
don't need to buy,
25 minutes at most.
We don't need to buy like Scantrons or anything.
So I haven't done that spiel with you, did I? All right. I'm sorry, man, but you missed it. If you have a math teacher that has a Scantron requirement, they are not a math teacher. I don't know what the shit they are. Yeah. In case anybody else is watching this. Because the most important thing in teaching math and evaluating students is seeing if you understand the concept. If you just give me a number and then I have a machine go, that's the right letter that they chose, it's like, I don't know if you really got lucky or if you get the wrong answer, were you this close or were you this far away? See, that's bullshit. Scantron makes it so that they could be lazy. Do I wish I didn't have that philosophy and I could just do Scantrons and have a lot more time? Sort of. But then I'm not really teaching well. That would suck. I know, I was wondering if you're thinking, it was a yes or no question, dude. Shit. What was all that? All right, let me catch up to you. What's the first step in this? Good, subtract 3x. For now, it doesn't really matter what order it's in. 2y equals 12 minus 3x, I like it. When we get to the point where we're graphing, we are going to want to turn this around, so it's more like in mx plus b forms, but who cares right now? Yeah, the last thing is, you can divide the whole thing by 2, but something that's a little bit better than that is divide each thing by 2. Because I only want you guys to get used to that now, so that when we get to graphing, that's just an automatic thing. Divide each thing by 2, it's a little bit better. Yeah, y equals mx. So the slope would be negative 3/2, and the y-intercept would be 6. It's just out of order, right? Right now, you don't have to know any of that slope shit yet, right? That's going to be later. It's not shit, by the way. Yeah. Oh, okay. Real quick. Anybody happen to know what this is the formula for? Of? Trapezoid. I love it. So trapezoid, like I said, is a beheaded triangle. It's got two bases. They call them A and B. I'm not gonna. So you could actually divide this into two triangles. This triangle would be 1/2 height times base. This one would be 1/2 height times base, and then blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so there's a way you can derive the formula. What would be the first thing, knowing what I've said before? Multiply by 2. Yeah, just do that first thing. Get the fraction out the freaking way. Now, there's two main ways you can go from here. I'm trying to solve for h. Well, actually, I'm sorry. If you're solving for a or b, there's two ways you can go from here. I'm solving for h. There's really only one thing I got to do. Why is h not by itself? It's multiplying by. So how do I get rid of the a plus b? Divide by a plus b, because that's the opposite of the operation. That kicks so much ass. I want the h by itself. Stupid a plus b is here multiplying, so let me divide by it. So it cancels. So I get h equals 2a over little a plus b. And yes, capital letters and lowercase letters are two different variables, right? This is capital A, this is little a. I like it. So without having to use Greek letters, we have 52 variables. Yay! And then we can use Greek letters and Russian letters and happy faces and shit. Okay. So next time after the quiz, we'll devote the time to percent problems and word problems. Yay. Yes. Number one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the L is there, so you get rid of the other thing, you subtract 2w. And then y is not by itself, the stupid 2, so you divide the 2. And then I told you have two different ways you can write the answer. They're both the same, yeah?
Yep, same.
Yeah.